What is up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new video. These are the best weapons so far in season 5. I think later on I will make a top 5 guns in proper order. These are just the best guns right now as far as I'm aware. If you want to see the proper top 5 guns, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and that will be uploaded probably like a week after this, or maybe a little bit longer when I'm sure of the top 5. For now, these are one of the best guns that you should try out when you're entering season 5. So we're starting off with the meta from season 4, the RM68. Still a very good gun, low recoil. It beams across the map with the headshot multiplier ARs have in this game. The RM68 is definitely a weapon that is still very usable. If you didn't play season 4, this was pretty much the meta for the entire season. Absolute OP weapon. For the attachments, quickly gonna go through them. I personally use the thermal 1.25, then I have the extended mag, the SDNR laser, which lowers the recoil as well, and then I use the normal suppressor. A lot of people use the short barrel, which will increase the rate of fire. Definitely also worth using. I personally kind of like to use the normal mag for the reason that I think it works a little bit better for the longer range, which I use as a weapon for. And then the 4x sight is actually surprisingly good and useful as well. For the next weapon, this kind of has been the meta for the almost entire Battlefield 2042. I think only up to season 1 this gun was not very good. It is the SFAR-M GL, or the SCAR, how many people want to call it like that. It's one of the meta weapons literally since I think the update was before season 1. The gun has not changed and the gun is still very good. Of course, with the season 5 update, all these weapons have a little bit more spread, so they're not as good for range, but you can still burst fire this. And with the headshot multiplier, again, that ARs have, this is an absolute beast of a gun. Still worth using, still kind of has been the meta for a while. I don't see as many people use it, also because that RM68 has kind of taken over, but the SFAR is definitely worth using. For the attachments, I use the Fusion Hollow. Then I have the drum mag, and you definitely want to be running backup ammunition. I use the standard rounds, which have increased rate of fire. Then for the underbarrel grenade, which is also very good and worth using, is the 40mm HE rounds. And then I have the Arkham Tactical Muzzle Brake, which is also worth using, is the, if you're good with control and recoil, the tactical compensator. This will increase the accuracy, so you will have a little bit more range with this gun, but it also increases the recoil, so it also can be a little bit harder to kill players from range. But if you're good with control and recoil, the tactical compensator is definitely worth a shot. I also have the 2.5 thermal in case I want to go for longer range targets in, worse visible maps. On to the next one, which is the first SMG and the only SMG I put to this list. There's a lot of good SMGs in this game, but this gun, it is always a reliable gun. And it's the PP29, the gun I have the most kills with in Battlefield 2042 out of all the guns in 2042. I think over 35,000 at the moment. And the reason for that is that this gun can kind of do anything. It has low recoil, it has high rate of fire, and it can kill up long and close range. Whatever you kind of want. The hip fire is pretty good, not as good as the other SMGs. The rate of fire is also a little bit slower, but I think for the 64 round mag, this gun is an absolute beast. For the attachments, again, I don't really use anything special. I use the K8 Hollow or the Fusion Hollow, which is right here. Then I have the standard issue rounds. Then I don't have a factory mount, and I use the factory barrel. Actually, I don't use any of the special barrels. I've always been using the factory barrel. And then the RAP suppressor is definitely worth having as a backup. I use that quite a lot, the RAP suppressor. It only reduces the projectile velocity, which means if you go for longer range shots, you will notice the difference. But up close, you pretty much doesn't really have any effect besides that you don't appear on the minimap within a certain range. For the first LMG on the list, which is also a starting weapon, it is the LCMG. The first LMG you literally unlock, and if you unlock the right attachments for it, it becomes one of the best guns in the game. also has been one of the best guns in the game for a while now. And it has not really been used that much. I don't know what it is with people not using the LCMG. I truly think this is one of the best guns in the game if you use the right attachments for it. And with the high rate of fire, good hip fire, can pretty much do anything. Of course, in LMG it can be kind of rough playing aggressive with it, but the LCMG is definitely one of the more aggressive LMGs. That might be the only reason why it's not being used as much. If you're a good aggressive player, the LCMG might be your pick. For the attachments, I use the thermal 1.25 and the fusion hollow a lot, and then I have the TV 2 times as well. The recoil is not too much on it, so it's kind of worth using the 2 times scope sometimes. And this is important. You want to use the close combat rounds in combination with the short barrel. These both increase the rate of fire of the LCMG, which makes it kill extremely fast. And I have the Cobra grip. You can also use the LWG grip if you like to move while shooting a lot. But with LMGs, your movement speed, strafing speed is not that fast, so that's why I choose the Cobra grip, which I normally would use the LWG grip. So that is my attachments for the LCMG. Now we're coming to the interesting part. Since they've added attachments to Volt weapons, some of the Volt weapons are absolutely insane right now. One of them is the MTAR-21. This gun has a really high rate of fire, 900 to be exact. And I cannot show attachments yet, because I still kind of need to figure out what the best setup is. And I will come with a full guide of the MTAR-21 later on this week probably. But the MTAR right now has to be one of the best guns in the game, really, because you can't put that extended mag on it. You don't have that much choice for attachments, to be honest. I'll probably run the fusion hollow, the extended mag, and then for the underbarrel I'm not sure yet. But again, I'll come with a full guide about this gun later on the channel, so be sure to subscribe for that. But the MTAR-21, definitely a gun worth trying now. With the extended mag, you can really pick up multiple targets, which was for me really the only problem with this gun when it was at its state before Season 5, is you only had 30 rounds, so it was a little bit of a pain to use, because you run out of bullets very quick. So you want to be using the extended mag and the fusion hollow most likely, and then for the other attachments I will come with that later this week or next week. Now for another Volt weapon that has been added into the game, or has already been added into the game, but now has proper attachments, so it actually becomes really good. It is probably the lowest recoil weapon in the entire game. At the moment I'm not sure, but on the assault class it has probably the lowest amount of recoil. It is the M16A3. With a high rate of fire, 800, the recoil is still very low and you can beam players across the map. What I also like to run with the M16A3, I'm also going to come with a attachment guide later on this week or next week, because I still need to kind of figure out the right attachments for this. So again, be sure to subscribe for that if you don't want to miss that video. But the M16A3 with all the proper upgrades right now is 100% worth a shot, especially with that extended mag right now and the right sights. So that's gonna be it for the best weapons. I'm gonna make a proper top 5 guns probably next week or the week after that, when I know a little bit more about the game and what the right attachments are. But hopefully this video is useful to get you started off on Season 5 the correct way with the right weapons. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.